Hello, my name is Keshwani. It's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for math part of the SAT. We have been solving math problems out of this book here, the official SAT study guide. If you do not have this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 418. 418, today is our lesson number 9. The first problem on the page, number 15. Let's take a look at it. These are the last 4 problems in the section, the last 4 of the grading problems, and therefore they are not easy questions. They are up there. Let's take a look at the very first one. Number 15, it says that absolute value of x minus 3 is equal to half. And the question simply is, what is the least value of x that satisfies that equation? But before we actually look at this part, let's look at something simpler. If we are told that the absolute value of p is 2, what do you gather from that? What could be the values of p? What could be the values? There are 2 of them of p. You see here, p could be in this scenario. In this scenario, p could be -2 or +2. Why? Because absolute value of -2 is 2 and absolute value of +2 is 2. We are told that the absolute value of p is 2. Since the absolute value of p is 2, we cannot tell whether p is +2 or -2. It could be either. The exact same thing is going to apply here. We are told that the absolute value of x minus 3 is half, which tells us that x minus 3 could be either -2, could be either -2 or rather -half or +half. If x minus 3 happens to be -half, it will be x minus 3 equals -1/2. You add 3 to both sides and you add 3 to this side and 3 to this side. We end up, and 3 cancels out, and we'll end up x equals -half and a +3. 3 minus a half is 2.5. Or another possibility is that x minus 3 could be +half. In which case again we add 3 to both sides, and that tells us that x could be 3.5. Well, which one is it? Well, let's see what they're asking for. It says, what is the least value? What is the least value of the x that will satisfy this equation? The answer is the least value that will satisfy this equation is 2.5, because 2.5 minus a 3, which is actually a -1/2, if you take the absolute value of it, it becomes +1/2. So the answer is 2.5. It is, strictly speaking, not worded properly, because it says what is the I don't want to digress big time here. Let's learn this word first of all. I just used it. Digress. Oh, I don't have my vocabulary thing, so I don't know when did we covered it. I think it was day number 4, I'm not sure. Just type in vocabulary. Day 4, I believe it was. And you will find this word. And you will find a whole bunch of other words if you're interested in improving your vocabulary while you're working on math problems with me. There are a whole bunch of videos on my channel that will help you get a better score in the reading part of the exam, where you need to have decent vocabulary. Anyway, where was I going with it? Strictly speaking, the question is not worded properly, because it says what is the least value of x. Least, the word least is what is known as superlative. Less, lesser, and least. One uses superlative when one is comparing more than 2 objects. You do not go around saying he is the tallest of the 2 brothers, Well, if there's only two freaking brothers, oh sorry, you didn't hear that. If there are only two brothers, he cannot be the tallest. He will have a very tough time being the tallest among the two. He will be the taller between the two, not among the two. Among is to be used when you're talking about more than two people. He is the taller of the two. You cannot go around saying, I have two cars, this one is the most expensive one. No, this one is the more expensive one. They should not have used the word least. They should have asked which one is the lesser value, not least value. Least complies more than two values. And there's only two values that will satisfy this equation. Either x would have to be 2.5, 2.5 minus a 3 is -0.5, and absolute value of -0.5 is half, or x would have to be 3.5, 3.5 minus a 3 is half, which equals half obviously. Anyway, it's out of my system, I feel better. Let's do the next one. By the way, if you are interested in improving your score in the writing portion of the exam, I cannot help you with the writing part as such. But believe it or not, the vast majority of your score in the writing portion of the exam of the SAT has absolutely nothing to do with writing at all. The writing portion of the exam is only the essay part, which is a very small portion, which is only 20% of the entire weight. The remaining 80% or so of your score in the writing part actually comes from, believe it or not, simple multiple choice grammar questions. Nothing to do with writing at all. So if you want to work on your grammar, on my videos, I have put together just a few videos. I just started out, I haven't done much work in it, but there are some few videos which deal with the grammar questions of the SAT. Check them out and see if it's worth your time. So you can find the videos that will help you with the grammar, which will raise your score in the writing part. You will find vocabulary videos which will help you with your reading score, and of course we are doing the math together, and that's the important part. In the math portion, there is no substitute for practice. The more you practice, the better you will get at it, and that's the idea. We will practice through every single math problem in all of the 10 tests that you find in this book. This is on test number 1. We are only on day number 9. Anyway, enough of the talk. Let's do number 16. It says a 4-digit integer w, x, y, z, in which x, y, and z each represents a different digit, is formed according to the following rules. Okay, so we have a 4-digit integer. 4-digit integer. W, X, Y, Z. For example, we may have 3,578. That's a 4-digit integer. In which case Z is equal to 8, Y is equal to 7, and so on and so forth. But we have to follow this rule. The rules are, there are 3 rules that we must obey. The first one says that X has to equal W plus Y plus Z. W plus Y plus Z. 3 plus 7 is 10. This is already not going to work. So obviously that's not the number. Next rule that we have to observe is Y plus 1 has to equal W, and Z must equal W minus 5. Now here's what we're going to do. Okay, pay attention. The very first thing is, tell you what, why don't we write this thing, why don't we write this thing on the side there when we need it. It says that Y equals, rather, X equals W plus Y plus Z. The very first thing we have to realize that the sum of these 3 digits, W plus Y plus Z, sum of these 3 digits cannot be more than 10. It has to be less than or equal to 10. Why? Because their sum, the sum of these 3 digits, W, Y, and Z, W, Y, and Z, is simply X, which is another digit in the number. And the digits can only go up to 9. There are only 10 possibilities for digits. I just said 9, why did I say 10? The 10 digits are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. These are the only possibilities for a digit to be. A digit cannot be 13. A digit can also not be -2. It will have to be a positive number. 0 through 9 are the digits. Therefore, since we are told that X equals the sum of these 3, that tells us the sum of these 3 would have to be something less than or equal to 9. It can be all the way up to 9, but it cannot be more than 9. We also know, by the way, not that it matters here, not that it affects us here, but we also know that the sum of these three, can you tell me what's the lowest value it can take? What could be the lowest value of w, y and z? The lowest would be 3. Pause the video if you have to and think about it. Why is the lowest value of x, y, w, y and z 3? Because even if one of them is 0, the other one is 1, the other one would have to be 2, because they are all unique. We are told that they are all different. And if they are all different, then the lowest that the first one can take is 0. One of the three can take is 0, then the 1, and then the 2. So their sum would have to be minimum of 3 and no more than 9. That's the constraint. That's the purpose of this first equation. That's the purpose of this equation, to tell us all of that. It's important that we understand that. What we're going to do now is you go on to a second equation, which we are told w equals y plus 1. Let's put it in here. W equals y plus 1. Y plus 1 equals w plus y plus z. And z, we are told, equals w minus 5. W minus 5. But we know that w equals y plus 1. Let's erase this part here. Z equals w minus 5, but w itself equals y plus 1. So we're going to put it here. Y plus 1 minus 5, which means z equals y minus 4. We're going to put that in here. Y minus 4. And all of this has to be less than or equal to 9. Okay, let's simplify it. We have a y here, we have a y here, we have a y here, which was the whole bloody point in it, to get everything in one variable. So we have 3 y's, a positive 1 and a negative 4 will give us negative 3, less than or equal to 9. Let's bring the 3 to the other side, add 3 to both sides, and this 3 drops out, and we find that 3y is less than or equal to 12. Let's divide both sides by 3, and we find that y is less than or equal to 4. Y is less than or equal to 4. That's it, we are almost done. If y is less than or equal to 4, I shouldn't erase the bloody thing, now I need it again. 0, 1, 2, 3. These are the only possibilities. These are the only 4 possibilities that y can be. Y can be one of these possibilities. All we're going to do is take one of these values, put it in there and see if it works or not. Let's do it. We're going to do it right here. W, x, y and z. Remember, this is our first equation. The sum has to be equal to x. The second equation that we have to obey, is that w has to equal y plus 1. W has to be more than y. And z, we are told, has to be 5 less than w. So let's get going. What do you want to plug in first? These are the only possibilities that that y can be. Oh, less than or equal to 4. I left out 4. Let's list out 4. Just to amuse you, I'm going to start with 0. What I mean by that is that even though I know that it's not going to work, I'm going to start with that anyway. Watch what happens. If z is 0, oh sorry, not z, rather y. These are the possible values of y. If y, right here, you see y is less than or equal to 4. If y is less than or equal to 4, that implies that y could be 0, 1, 2, 3 or 4. If y is 0, then w, we are told, is y plus 1. So w will have to be 1. And we are told that z is w minus 5. Z is w minus 5. W is 1. Therefore z would have to be negative 4. Do you see a problem? There is a problem. These are digits of a digits of a 4-digit number. A digit cannot be a negative number. It has to be 0 through 9. This is not going to work. Let's try y equal to 1. Let's try y equal to 1. If y is 1, it doesn't take that long if I don't explain everything. If y is 1, w would have to be 2. If w is 2, again z is 2 minus 5, it's going to be negative 3. That's not going to work. That tells us that y is too small. If y happens to be 2, this will be 3 and this will be negative 2. That won't work. If y is 3, this would be 4 and this would be if W is 4, then Z would be -1. You see, 4 minus 1, it will be -1. That won't work. These are too small. That's what it tells us. Therefore, it must be, Z must be 4. Sorry, Y must be 4. If Y is 4, watch what happens now. Y is 4, then W is Y plus 1, which makes it 5, and Z is 5 minus 5, W minus 5, which means Z is 0. Now what do you suppose X, what do you suppose will go in the place of X? X has to be W plus Y plus Z. W plus Y plus Z, 5 plus 4 plus 0, which is 9. Voila, there is your 4-digit number. 5,940. Do you understand? And that's it, we're done. What you will find as you watch more and more of my videos, what you will find, and many a times you're going to sit there and wonder, how the hell do they expect us to solve this question if it's taking this guy 10 minutes to explain the freaking thing? Well, the reason it's taking me 10 minutes to explain it is because I'm explaining it. If you understood it, it should take no more than a couple of minutes. You just have to go systematically, logically. You see immediately, as soon as you try one, you find a negative number, you know this is too small. This guy has to start out with something bigger. Because Y, whatever you put in Y, W depends on it. W is Y plus 1. So W depends on Y. And once you have a W, then Z depends on things. They are all related. So it has to be something that works out. All the pieces of the puzzle have to fit. You understand? I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye now.